Hey guys, another edition of Off the Top Rope here off the Mike Sports Network. NXT from Madison Square Garden, the theater at Madison Square Garden was on Tuesday night. Obviously, one of the big stories, Stephanie Vaquer, she becomes a double champion. She's now the Women's North American champion and the NXT Women's champion. Congratulations to her. The other big story here is Oba Femi. And I haven't had a chance to really go in depth about Oba Femi on this channel, but what this guy has done without really a wrestling background in terms of who he was, like I think he was like a shot putter or something at Alabama. Um, this guy's the next big thing because I think they said on the broadcast is like in 30 matches or something like that. And this is just, 30 matches going through the Performance Center system. This guy is now NXT champion. He was a North American champion, longest reigning North American champion ever. Um, and this guy is just dominant. A lot of his storytelling, his mic work. I know a lot of people are still getting used to the accent because it's hard to believe that's not his real voice. He is playing a character. So that's even more credit to him. So I'm going to say something here, and some people are going to get offended because there's a guy currently on the main roster who's the Intercontinental Champion that you could liken into this category too. I think Oba Femi could be the next Brock Lesnar or the next big giant, big monster in WWE history. Like, he is the next big thing. He really is, because he has only scratched the surface of what he is capable of. And think of who he's been in the ring with over the course of his entire time in NXT. He faced Wes Lee and had a great big Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, good young talents. He's been in the ring with, obviously he had Trick Williams, Eddie Thorpe, Dragon Lee, who he had a great little feud with. He has run through, you had Joe Coffey. There are just so many talents that he's been able to work with and prove this point. And he comes in with these vicious, nasty sounded chops. He is just so freakishly powerful in terms of the ability to deliver power bombs and just throw people around like they're like dough for pizza. It's insane what this guy is capable of. And then the coup de grace really of his run is he faces an established talent in a multi-time champion in TNA in Moose, has a great match with him. One of the great hoss fights that I've seen in WWE on the main roster or in NXT in a while. I have not seen a hoss fight like that in a minute. And immediately it got into my head. This is kind of a hybrid between, Braun Strowman and, Braun Breaker. He doesn't really have the speed necessarily, but and Brock Lesnar, the freakish athleticism. This guy has been able to pick up things so quickly, and now he's the top of this brand. Because initially, for the longest time, I thought that Trick Williams was going to be one of the pieces of the future of this promotion, of this NXT brand, or what could be potentially go into the main roster. Trick Williams has now had 2 NXT title runs, and they both have kind of flopped and ended prematurely because he's just not ready in terms of a wrestling perspective, in terms of what he needs to do to get from A to B. The charisma is there, no question, but Oba Femi is different. Oba Femi is different. He has just gradually just come in and, he takes the NXT North American title, holds it for longer than anybody. He's the NXT champion now. Who knows how long he's going to hold that for? And I would venture to guess, if he continues on this path, and I said the same thing about Stephanie Vaquer, Julia too, the only reason why Oba Femi is probably going to stay in NXT a little bit longer is because their men's division is kind of depleted and they need to replenish it, and they need to have something in place before Oba Femi goes to the main roster. But I'm here to tell you, this guy is everything that was great about Braun Strowman. He is everything that was great about Brock Lesnar. He is everything that was great about Braun Breaker. He is all those guys mixed together. And I think he is one of the closest things that this company has seen to that next big thing, hybrid type athlete that could be a mega star in this sport. And some people will say, yeah, he's Nigerian. I don't care, dude. It's remarkable that this guy speaks very clear, and if you look back at his NXT 2.0 intro promo, he speaks really good English. And some people are just getting fooled by how good he is at having a Nigerian and having a Nigerian accent. Like this ruler character, no pun intended, rules. It rules because he continues to just week in and week out, just go in the ring with some of the top people in this promotion, some of the top people in the world, and looks like he belongs. And that is just insane for a guy who had no experience coming in a few years ago, a lot like what Tiffany Stratton did, and comes in as a former college athlete and turns into, one of the faces of the future for this promotion. So, like I said, this is this generation. We're looking at this generation's Brock Lesnar right here, everybody. Because all due respect to Braun Breaker, and I think Braun Breaker is a lot of things, but Braun Breaker is a little bit smaller. He is powerful, but in terms of like, a monster level type deal, this guy is just a different breed. And I cannot wait to see what Oba Femi does the rest of his NXT title run and until he gets to the main roster. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this edition of Off the Top Rope. I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.